The night is quiet, but don't be fooled. The unseen is always watching. Shadows stretch a little too long in the dim glow of streetlights. Whispers dance just beyond the range of human ears, and in the silence, something stirs. Whether you believe in the paranormal or not, one truth remains. Some places hold on to their ghosts. Welcome to Paranormal Nightshift. This is where the shadows tell their secrets, and your most chilling, spine-tingling stories come to life. Some of these encounters will leave you questioning reality. Others may make you sleep with the lights on. A few will make you wonder if something unseen has followed you all along. I'm your host, Gideon, your guide through the eerie, the unexplained, and the downright hair-raising. Every night we peel back the curtain between this world and whatever lurks beyond, bringing you first-hand experiences of those who have come face to face with the unknown. But before we step into tonight's darkness, I've got something for you, something you don't want to miss. If you're drawn to the supernatural, if you crave a story that blends history, hauntings, and time-traveling mystery, then visit paranormalnightshift.com to grab your free copy of The Birth of Dimensional Desperado, the first ebook in our Dimensional Desperado series. Follow Buck Shadow Sheriff Freeman as he unravels the paranormal across time, tracking ghosts, uncovering forgotten truths, and facing spirits that refuse to rest. Now that you're armed with a new adventure, it's time to return to the darker side of things. Tonight's story, The Haunting of the Warehouse, comes from one of our listeners, Elizabeth. What started as just another workday turned into a terrifying, unexplainable encounter that left her questioning what really lingers in the places we leave behind. Turn down the lights, settle in, and prepare yourself, because once the spirits make themselves known, there's no turning back. It started as just another workday, with hours stretching endlessly. The only thing keeping us sane was the constant banter and the occasional harmless prank. The warehouse was nearly empty, save for a handful of us tasked with clearing out the last of the racks before our move to a newer, bigger facility. 8 of us were in the building that day, easily accounted for. A supervisor at his desk. A scanner logs products onto the trucks. 3 loaders moving furniture from the docks. And then there was Monty, Gooch, and me, deep in the racks, pulling products down from towering shelves. I had worked in this building long enough to hear the stories. Every warehouse has them. The unexplained sounds, things moving independently, and the strange, lingering feeling of being watched. But it wasn't until my last day, working in that old place, that I learned how authentic those stories were. Monty, Gooch, and I had a habit, a stupid little game of throwing things at each other when the work got slow. We would throw balls of packing tape, discarded label rolls, and whatever we could get our hands on. It kept things entertaining. So when I heard what sounded like an empty label roll hit the shelf below me, I didn't think twice. I was on the 4th level of the rack, pulling down an ottoman. My lift was parked inside the aisle, perfectly aligned, and ready to move me to the following location. But when I pressed the controls, the lift wouldn't budge. I frowned. Maybe something was caught beneath it. I backed up. Nothing. The lift strained like it wanted to move, but something held it back. Annoyed, I lowered myself to the 3rd level to check for obstructions. That's when I heard it again. Another object flying through the racks, not falling, not rolling, thrown. I narrowed my eyes and scanned the space around me. Monty had to be messing with me. Gooch was too far away, pulling rugs on the opposite end of the building. The loaders and scanners were nowhere near the racks. The only one unaccounted for was Monty, and if there was ever someone who would go out of his way to mess with me, it was him. Still, I said, "All right, Monty, you got me. Real funny." Silence. I lowered the lift again, dropping to the second level. Tried the controls again. Nothing. That uneasy feeling crept into my gut, a cold sensation snaking up my spine. I hadn't seen Monty at all. What if it wasn't him? I was done playing around. I took the lift to the ground, ready to get out and check if something was physically stopping the machine from moving. But the moment my feet hit the floor, I saw it. A tall, lanky figure, darker than a shadow, moving fast. It sprinted between the racks, heading from the front of the warehouse toward the back. My entire body froze. I couldn't breathe. It wasn't Monty. It wasn't anyone I knew. We had no one in the building that tall and thin, no one dressed in solid black. The only person remotely close to the building was Gooch, but he was on the other side of the warehouse, pale as hell and wearing light-colored clothes. I stood there, my feet locked to the ground, my heart slamming against my ribs as the figure disappeared more profoundly into the building, and just like that, my lift worked again. No hesitation. I exited that aisle as fast as the machine would take me. I finally regained my breath and rushed to my supervisor's desk. I must have looked pale because he barely raised an eyebrow before saying, "You saw him, didn't you?" I blinked. "You know about this?" He leaned back, rubbing a hand over his face, and sighed. "Seen him plenty of times, down the aisles, back of the building. You're not the first." He told me the story, the one every long-term employee knew. Years ago, before I ever worked there, an employee had died of a heart attack in the front break room. Nobody remembered his name. His file was long gone, forgotten, but his presence, very much still here. Then, the supervisor hit me with the kicker. "You should tell the floor manager about this when he comes in. He's into the paranormal. Oh, and remind me, I'll show you the scanner video." "What scanner video?" I asked. And that's when he told me. Months before, security footage had captured something strange. In the video, one of the handheld scanners sat in the center of a table that the shipping department used every day. No one was near it, and there was no wind, vibration, or explanation for what happened next. First, it wiggled, just a little, like something was nudging it. Then, it flew off the table. Not dropped, not knocked, thrown. When I saw the footage the next day, my stomach twisted into knots. This place wasn't just haunted. Something here was active. After that, I stopped picking products in that part of the warehouse. I didn't argue. I didn't question it. Monty and Gooch were eager to take over once I told them what happened, dying to see something for themselves. But I never set foot in those racks alone again. It's been almost a year since we left that warehouse. The company moved on, but the building is abandoned in an active industrial park. I drive by it sometimes, curiosity pulling at me. The lights are always off and the doors are always locked. The landlord was supposed to lease it to a new business, but no one ever moved in. Could that forgotten employee still be there, keeping watch, waiting, maybe even scaring away anyone who dares to take his place? And that, dear listeners, wraps up another chilling journey into the unknown. Elizabeth, thank you for sharing your incredible experience with us. Stories like yours remind us just how thin the barrier between this world and the next can be. Some spirits linger, some places refuse to be forgotten, and sometimes the past reaches out when we least expect it. But what do you think? Was Elizabeth's warehouse genuinely haunted by a restless soul, or was something more sinister at play? Let us know your thoughts. Head to Spotify or YouTube, comment, and join the discussion. Your feedback helps us keep the show alive, and we love hearing your take on these paranormal encounters. If you enjoyed tonight's story and want to keep the eerie adventures going, consider supporting the show on Patreon. Not only will you get ad-free episodes, but you'll also gain exclusive access to future Dimensional Desperado adventures, where Buck Shadow Sheriff Freeman continues his journey through time, facing supernatural threats from the past. So don't miss out. Not ready to join Patreon? No worries. You can still help by subscribing on Spotify and YouTube. A simple click that makes a huge difference. And don't forget, you can always keep the adventure going by visiting paranormalnightshift.com to grab your free copy of The Birth of Dimensional Desperado, the first ebook in the series. If you love ghostly mysteries, time travel, and fearless paranormal investigations, this is one journey you won't want to miss. But before we go, one last thing. Do you have a story that still makes the hair on your arms stand up? Have you ever felt watched when you were alone? Have you heard whispers in an empty room? If so, we want to hear it. Head over to paranormalnightshift.com to submit your story, because who knows, your experience might be the next one we bring to life. Until next time, stay curious, brave, and remember that some shadows don't just disappear. This is Gideon signing off until the next night shift begins.